Hello everyone, welcome back to the TheUltraPodcast episode 4. Today we are talking about Stone v. Trump because grades, high school, and government. And I'm joined today by my friends Peyton.
Hi.
And Brooklyn.
Hi.
And let's get started talking about Trump and Stone and stuff.
So this all started on the July of 2017. President Trump tweeted a proposal to prohibit the trans Americans from serving in the U.S. military. This case was being led by the American Civil Liberties Union of Maryland on behalf of the officers Brock Stone, Kate Cole, John Doe, Tommy Parker, and Euro George, and Tegan Gilbert.
So on August 28th, Stone v. Trump was filed in the District Court of Maryland. This happened in 2017. And then on August 25th, Trump signed the directive banning those who are transgender from the military and those who were applying to the military or joining from being in the military anymore. So then on August 28th, ACLU filed a complaint challenging Trump's ban. And then on September 14th, 2017, a preliminary injunction was filed to seek immediate halt to Trump's order. And then again on November 21st, another court ruled to hold on the ban. And then we moved to December 21st of 2017, and the Court of Appeals was the fourth court to deny Trump's claim.
On January 22nd, 2019, the Supreme Court files the ban temporarily, and on January 28th, the Department of Justice moves for a stay. I'm sorry, I can't English right. On March 7th, the court grants a stay in the Stone case, and then on April 12th, the anti-transgender policy retook effect in the military.
So this ban was against the Equal Protection Clause. It was biased against the gender identity and gender discrimination.
So looking at Trump's point of view, he was instituting a ban because of the rule against medications and drugs. There were issues of recognizing whether these drugs were actually legitimate in their uses and if it was necessary for them to be taking them. And based on the cost of medications and everything, he just didn't feel that it seemed viable to keep transgender people into the military. And he also argued that if you put a relax on the rules, then there will be further consequences because you'll start getting into a gray area of what can and cannot be acceptable. So he started this ban to take precautions, I guess. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I guess. And from Stone's view, he was saying that there's obvious discrimination and bias against those who are transgender. They want to be able to serve in the military as well. It undercuts thousands of people from getting into the military at all, and it would also cut out thousands who are already in the military as trans. So Trump's ban on the trans would make our military lose thousands of people.
Yeah, the ban would kind of undercut the whole process that we had of getting the transgender people to be in the military at all. So it kind of just erases the process that we spent a year trying to obtain.
I agree. I think that if someone is willing to serve in the military, we should let them serve. That is such a big sacrifice already to be giving that it seems unfair and kind of counteractive to be able to deny someone from willingly giving their life for their country, willingly serving, enlisting. Because that's not an easy I guess I'll just join the military.
You can die. it's hard. If you're willing to give yourself to the military, then it shouldn't matter if you're a boy, a girl, or if you're trans, if you're non-binary even. It should only matter that you're willing to help the country, because it's tough work. You will be away from your family for a while. There's a possibility of death, and it's one of the greatest sacrifices you can make in the world.
Yeah, it would especially be bad because there's like thousands of trans people that are currently serving in the military, so it would just be, we'd just be short on people in general.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to, like, you see recruiters coming to the high school all the time trying to get people to sign up. It's kind of hard to motivate people to want to enlist in the military. And just like you get emails and texts all the time like, have you thought about this choice? And it doesn't really make sense to just cut out the people who are actually wanting to do that, and they're like willingly seeking it out.
Yeah.
Another thing I thought was interesting was it took 2 years for the courts to decide whether to institute Trump's ban or not. Mm-hmm. And with the 4 courts denying Trump's claim, that it's still, after all that discussion, still got put in. I mean, there's still like litigations going against Trump's ban, trying to get it done, but I find it strange that after 2 years and several different courts reviewing this case, that
it's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing and still like...
Well, I think it's solved now. I think that trans people, from what I've researched, I think trans people are allowed in the military now. I could be wrong about that. But the fact that it took 2 years to implement that ban just for it to be revoked means that it shouldn't have been brought up in the first place, because it took all that effort, all that work just to put the ban in place, and then less than 2-3 years later, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that it is, that ban's not in place now. It's
still going through trials. And
there's just still people that agree with Trump's argument and try, I don't know, but it's like figured out now, so I don't know why it's still
it's
happening.
dumb.
Personally, it's hard for me to see the other point of view, that it's like that you wouldn't want people to be joining the military.
Trump is dumb. We can all agree that.
It just seems like a bias against them and not necessarily the situation, because there are other people in the military that take their prescription drugs, and it is, I think that, like...
And the drugs that trans people use they're like...
legitimate.
They're legitimate. They're not illegitimate. They're not really either like over-the-counter prescription like Advil or something, but...
Yeah, I think that prescriptions are meant to make you feel better, and that's a necessity for them. That's their necessity. Yeah,
they need it in order to help their process. They need it to be the person they want to be. They need it to not life. I don't know what I was saying.
The ban is hard to be seen as constitutional as well, because with the Equal Protection Clause that they're fighting against, it's sworn to not be using any biases, and it's hard to hear that argument where it's like, well, anti-transgender people is not like a biased claim, when the Constitution is supposed to be protecting against those biased claims and like actually have like strict reasoning behind it, not solely just because they are transgender.
Yeah.
Overall, it's just that the policy took effect, and
it wasn't a good idea in the first place, and I'm happy that it's not there anymore. It deserved to be gone, and Trump, why would you even make this idea? Anyways, our sources for this were govinfo.gov, freedomforallameriCans.org, aclu.org, clearinghouse.net, and a tiny bit of Wikipedia. Please don't dock our grade for using Wikipedia. It's a credible website, I swear. Anyways, you guys have anything else you want to say?
No, just
I think we covered it.
Nice.
Thanks for having us on your podcast, Mike.
Thank you for being on my podcast. Also, to all you people, take that. Ha, I know girls. I just don't talk with them often, okay? But I do know girls. Lol.
we do talk about constitutional issues.
Yes. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Mr. Teacher, give us a good grade. Please. This was the hardest 11 minutes ever.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.